I'm frozen.
No, you're not.
I am. My picture is frozen.
Oh, your picture is frozen?
Yep, I don't know. My picture is frozen. I'm looking. I hope we don't have this problem again tonight. There.
At the store, it was buffering all day.
All right. Well, maybe you're fine, but I'm stuck.
You were fast forward just then.
I'm stuck right there. I'm looking. It looks like I got my eyes closed. So you go ahead and talk. I do not know why that you're like this.
Oh
no.
Thank you. It's all happening. You.
I don't know.
You're frozen and I'm not.
That's right. You're frozen and I'm not.
No, I'm frozen and
no.
Muted.
Okay, I'm back. I think now. Do y'all hear us now?
Hello. No audio.
No audio at all. Let me see if I can go over here to my settings.
No sound. It's all happening.
See what it is.
PE and Adventures with the Purpose are online same time we are again. I can hear. No. Somebody said sounds good. Yes. Don't touch anything.
Don't touch anything.
Don't touch anything.
Okay. Well, I hope we don't lose a lot of visitors to them. I like them myself, but
I like that. Can you hear me
now? Tonight we are going to talk about a pretty interesting case that is probably the most sadistic, wicked, evil case I've ever heard of. And a family right here in Alabama were responsible for it. And the case, the missing person comes out of this family, but it's important to discuss the family and what all they did. And it's really, really, I would not, if you have children listening, I would not want them to hear what we're going to talk about. It's just fair warning right now that you need not let your children view this video. This is not for kids. One thing I did want to discuss before we talk about that is we got a couple of missing person cases out of England there in the last couple of days, and I'm frozen again. I was frozen and not frozen. I don't know what the problem is with this.
I tell you, at work today, the computer was buffering all day.
This gentleman here, 15 years old from London, England, went missing on 12/19 of 2020. They're asking for help to locate him. If we have our viewers over in England, that we do have quite a few that watch from the UK, and we'd ask that y'all be on the lookout for this gentleman. I cannot pronounce his name, so I'm not going to even try to butcher it, but you can read it for yourself right there. And he is 15 years old. No really information on how the disappearance is. And another one out of England is Emily Dawes. She's 45, last seen in Sutton, Greater London, and been missing since 12/22. So that would be yesterday. So we want to get these out to our people that are in England and the UK that are watching our broadcast and maybe watching now or later on, if they could get a look out for these two people that are missing, and just as important as anybody that we have missing in the United States. I did want to play a couple of clips for you. A little thing about this. Brittany Woods is the Brittany Woods is the, or Wood actually, is the missing person we're going to discuss. It happened in Mobile County and Baldwin County, Alabama.
At the time that we lived.
At the time that I was living there, actually living in Baldwin County, Alabama at the time. This whole family was a part of a pedophile sex ring. The whole family was. And it's believed that Brittany was actually trying to clean up the family and bring a lot of this stuff to light. And that's why she was supposedly killed. And we don't know if she's killed or missing or in the sex trade or anything. But we know that the whole family is eat up with it. And I'm going to show you a couple of videos from newscasters, but also some off of some research I found. And this will tell the tale. This is the Daily Mail collected this. I thought it was pretty good. The mother of Brittany Wood make a shocking plea for her own sister to reveal where the body of her teen, who was about to expose the family pedophile ring, is buried. They think this is where she's not just missing, she's buried. Chelsea Wood told the online Mail, or Mail Online, she accepts the 19-year-old daughter is dead almost 18 months after she disappeared from her home in Mobile. Called on her sister, Wendy Holland, to end all the lies. Wendy is married to Donnie Holland, the uncle of Brittany. He supposedly was the one that possibly did her harm, and he killed himself several days after she went missing. The uncle of Brittany had confronted with sexual abuse claims on the day she vanished. He killed himself 2 days later with Brittany's gun, which I don't understand that is. I guess Brittany was carrying a gun at the time. Family believes that she was fixing to go basically to the police and expose the pedophile ring involving 11 people, all family members, and their friends. Wood herself facing sodomy and child abuse claims told Mail Online, I just beg her to tell the truth. No more hiding, no more lies. Brittany's stepmother reveals to the Mail Online that missing teen's daughter, Peyton, 3, thinks her mother works for a TV station after seeing her photograph on the television. Yeah, it's very, very sad, but this whole family is absolutely just involved with all kinds of sex and incest and pedophilia. And it's just very, very, it's almost impossible to believe that this went on within the family and nobody got caught. Nobody got exposed even before this. It was a sex ring, basically, with their friends involved.
I remember when we were down there and they first reported her missing, and then it seemed like every day there was something else about another family member that had been arrested for sexual abuse of children and stuff.
Right. And I don't know if these are necessarily in any type of order, but I'm going to play some of these news feeds for you and let you get an idea. It's almost impossible to even explain what happened. Yeah, and this picture right here, Brittany, pictured at age 5, was a victim of child sex abuse herself when she was 9 at the hands of her grandmother's boyfriend, her attacker. I mean, yeah, he looks like her little child. See if here, let me go down to where I was trying to, right here. This is Brittany to the left. Brittany's stepmother told the Online Mail there desperately hopes that a 19-year-old body is found and for good of her daughter who needs to know the truth. And I can't imagine a daughter growing up to learn the truth about their whole family. It is, and I'm going to show you these pictures here. And like I said, they may not be in any type of order, but we took them out. That's Brittany again. Some family members of Brittany pictured with their daughter just weeks before she disappeared. Right there. This is the guy they believe, the uncle that to the left that killed her. They believe she's dead and then killed himself, but they can't find her. So there's always a possibility that she was put in the sex trade. But if these people were afraid of being exposed, then being in this pedophilia ring, they would probably do anything. Married to evil, Donnie Holland killed himself 2 days after Brittany disappeared. His wife, Wendy Wright, who is also Chelsea's sister, is facing child torture, sodomy charges relating to the alleged pedophile ring. Now, I'm going to tell you, folks, if you don't believe that this stuff is real, that there's not pedophile rings out there, I mean, it's easy to sit back in our house and like us sit in front of the fireplace going tonight, and it's easy to think that stuff's not happening, but it is. It's happening. And this was a large, family-oriented pedophile ring. Had them and their friends involved in it. These are two here. Roundup police have been arresting members of the Wood family and their friends since Brittany's disappearance, and are only now starting to officially link the two. Left is a scout leader, Jennifer Moore, charged with child porn. You believe that? A scout leader? Down below this is family affair. Prosecutors Nikki Patterson said pretty much everyone in this extended family has been having sex with one another and having sex with children. Left is Brittany's maternal uncle, Randall Wood, charged with sodomy and rape, enticing a child to enter into second-degree rape. Right is William Brownlee, a friend of Wood's family, also been charged with 2 counts. And let me take away this thing here. It's got it where I can't see what I'm wrong. Of rape, sodomy, and sexual abuse. I'm going to tell you, there's not hardly enough punishment that would do to get these type of people off the street. And rape, sodomy, and sexual abuse of children. And these were pretty much all children. It wasn't any adults as far as in the sex thing involved in it. This is another sick. That's what it says. Police have branded the family the most depraved in America since 11 members and friends are arrested for abusing their children, including Chelsea Left and her mugshot, Brittany's brother, Derek. So the whole family were sexual predators. The whole family. Can you imagine letting your child, not knowing, letting your child go play with one of their children?
Or being
in the Girl Scout troops with this girl? I mean, there's no telling what and how much. It makes me sick. It absolutely makes me sick to think about what this family has been involved in and how long it's been involved. It says, speaking out, Brittany's aunt, Kim Aiken, now told the Mail Online she could not stand that someone close to her was being abused. She was a strong woman. Let me get away with this thing again. I apologize, having that on there.
So Brittany could not stand someone.
Pocket stick of dynamite. It's what she's been called, a pocket stick of dynamite.
Yeah, did Brittany's daughter end up going to live with the father or the father's mother?
I'm not 100% sure on that.
I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have been.
I'll look at my notes in a second. Brittany Wood's disturbing disappearance is set against a backdrop of grindy poverty and drugs in Alabama. Yeah, and I'm sure that they were all into that kind of stuff.
Y'all, this is just the tip of the iceberg. That's the problem.
Yeah.
This is one family. I do know that I got online to do some research, and President Trump put out, I forget what the call was for, but anyway, they've arrested in just the first 4 years of his administration, they've arrested over 10,000 pedophiles and sex traffickers.
Now, the toddler's legal guardians are Peyton's paternal grandfather or grandparents, Dennis and Maxwell Harris.
That would be the fathers.
They look after the happy blonde toddler during the week, but spends most of the weekends with her other grandparents, Stephen and Wallace. I hope they are really watching these. Complicated, it says.
That's very complicated.
Chessie, who refuses to talk about her arrest for sex charges, oh, that's nice, gave birth to a daughter, Zoe, 4 days after Brittany had her own daughter, Peyton. She said no mother should lose their daughter, but it is even worse when there's no body. We just want to mourn. What is that noise?
That's Gracie.
Gracie's asleep down here at your feet.
She's snoring.
She's snoring? Okay.
I kept wondering what it was.
And then, of course, they go over here. It says here, loving grandparents. Wallace Hank left and wife Stephanie Hank spend their time with Peyton, the daughter of Brittany Wood. They told the Mail Online how Peyton thinks her mother's on a TV star because he sees photographs in the news so often. And, I don't know. And I'm sure being with a grandparent that loves them and everything, I hope there's no grandparents associated with the family that's been involved in all this incest. That's what I hope. This is apparently the stone tribute outside the Chessie's home. Sits beneath a wreath with a B for Brittany next to the fallen Christmas tree. Family members talked and believe that there's no hope that Brittany's alive. And, I don't think she is. Probably she's not alive, but that whole family, if they were involved in all these stuff like this, there's really no telling, really.
The mother of missing mother, Brittany Wood, says she believes everyone involved in an alleged sex ring is guilty. Last week, 7 people were picked up and charged with crimes surrounding this case. Brittany's mother, Chessie Wood, was among those arrested. She was picked up on an outstanding warrant. Brittany Wood has been missing since last May. Authorities say the 2 cases are not related. Local 15's Madupe Idowu is live in our newsroom tonight. Madupe, Wood says sex allegations are a distraction.
That's right, Kim. Chessie Wood says the sex crime allegations surrounding her family has taken the focus off what she believes is important, which is finding Brittany.
And all I can say is I ain't touched nobody.
This was Chessie Wood just 7 days ago, the latest roundup. She was taken into custody for a traffic violation. However, the others, either relatives or friends of the family, are facing multiple sex charges ranging from rape to child porn.
They're going to put me in the paddy wagon and then go get all the monsters and put them in the van with me and then throw me in front of the TV cameras on the way to jail over a 9-year-old suspended driver's license.
Today, mother of missing teen mom Brittany Wood is speaking out, asking law enforcement to focus on finding her daughter and not on family drama.
If they would have just took that little bit of energy they took for that bull crap and put it towards my daughter that deserves every minute of their time, quite possibly we could have closure to my daughter's disappearance.
Chessie Wood believes the sex crime allegations have made organizations leery of working with her to search for Brittany, despite tips she's received about Brittany's whereabouts.
I lost the public, period.
She says she can see why. She even believes some of her family members are guilty of the heinous crimes.
They didn't just hurt their children, they hurt mine too.
Including Brittany Wood and her son. For now, Chessie says she's setting that aside to focus on what's important, and that's finding Brittany.
Brittany is my #1 focus. I have got to bring her home for her baby.
Now, during our 20-minute sit-down, Chessie Wood revealed a lot about who she believes killed Brittany Wood and why she believes some sex allegations actually led to her daughter's death. To see the full interview, go to our website at local15tv.com.
You know, I think she probably hate that she's trivializing all of these sex allegations and these sexual arrests they're having. That whole family is responsible for the death or the disappearance of her. That whole family is, especially if she was going to blow the whistle on them and tell that, hey, you know, this is a sex thing's going on, and you need to do something about it.
Do you know if she's a nurse? The mother.
I don't know.
Don't know. I never heard anything about it.
No, it may have been. I mean, a lot of people, you know, she could have been a CNA. She could have been a, I don't know. I never heard
Maddie
which
said,
way
did you
she
see
was.
Sheriff Grady in Florida and the 13 arrests of children sex crimes?
I did not, but he is a great sheriff. I follow him down there. He is a great sheriff. You have another one down there too, this super sheriff in Florida also. I'm just going to step right in here. They're looking for another report here, and I've got a couple of these actually.
New tip into the disappearance of Brittany Wood, prompting a search in Grand Bay. Fox 10 News' Tyler Finger broke this story with a push alert this morning online. He joins us now live from the scene with the very latest. Tyler?
Yeah, hey, good evening, Byron. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office has been at this Grand Bay property since early this morning. Right now, we are on Ramsey Boulevard, and investigators confirming to me that this search here is all because of a new tip on the whereabouts of Brittany Wood, who's been missing since 2012. Mobile police say MCSO got a tip last week after our Fox 10 News story on the new age progressed picture aired, and it led them to this area. The Sheriff's Office got a search warrant for the property on Ramsey Boulevard. A canine was taken to the area and alerted to something. MCSO starting the search and dig today, but by 11:30 a.m. it was suspended because of the weather. Just within the last hour or so, I spoke with Brittany's mom, Chessie, who told me the family is hoping this tip will bring her home.
We hope this is the end of it, and we find our baby and we get her and we put her to rest, and then we'll move on to the other questions we have. But we only can take it day for day. And for today, I'm hoping the weather moves off, they can dig, and hopefully my baby's there.
MPD says the Sheriff's Office is conducting the search for their case because it is out of PD jurisdiction. MPD says the area on Ramsey Boulevard has been searched before, but with the new tip and the hit from the dog, they will be searching it again. This MCSO deputy will be out here all night, and the plan is for detectives to come back out tomorrow. We're live in Grand Bay tonight. Tyler Finger, Fox 10 News.
And it was not, of course, anything found that I saw. You know, if she was there, the problem is down in that whole area, there's all kinds of swamps. I mean, they're everywhere down there. And Mobile's at the bottom part of Mobile Bay is a big swampy area. I mean, they could have took her out there and tied her up and dropped her into the swamp. And unfortunately, the alligators would have eat her. I mean, there's all kinds of gators in there. There's wild boar. There's everything in there. So, but a lot of times they will find things. I know we actually, working the Florida coastline, there actually recovered some bones at, they washed up on the beach and it turned up to be human bones. But I don't know. I think they ended up finding it was DNA said it was someone that fell off an oil rig or something. So they will find stuff like that. I've just got a couple more of these. reports that I thought they were pretty interesting. And I'm going to
Another
play.
plea deal tonight in the family sex ring case that spans 2 counties and involves nearly a dozen arrests. Wendy Holland, one of Brittany Wood's aunts, pleaded guilty today in Mobile County. Local 15's Christian Jennings is live in the newsroom with how much prison time Holland now faces. Christian?
Greg, she already received 219 years in Baldwin County after being convicted on child sex abuse charges there. Now she faces 10 years here in Mobile, which will run concurrent with her other sentence. Long before the arrests and court proceedings, a young mother by the name of Brittany Wood disappeared in May of 2012.
This is all connected. If it wasn't for these crimes, Brittany wouldn't be missing.
In Baldwin and Mobile counties, nearly a dozen family, friends, or relatives of Brittany have been arrested on sex charges, including Brittany's mother, brother, uncles, and aunts. Her aunt Wendy Holland was the only one to accept a plea deal today in this Mobile County courtroom after committing sodomy with a 14-year-old during a group sex situation.
That's one less child that has to testify again.
Basically, we had the 6 defendants in Mobile who have still pending cases in Mobile were set today. And this was essentially sort of a discovery hearing. Wendy Holland went ahead and pled guilty. So I offered her our mandatory minimum, which is 10 years to serve.
Brittany Wood's mother, Chessie, once again maintained her innocence. She's facing sex abuse and sodomy charges.
Innocent people don't take plea bargains. That's all I got to say about today. And help me find my daughter.
Brittany's stepmother, Stephanie Hankey, says she'll keep showing up for every hearing in support of the children.
I want them to know that I'm in their corner, that they did nothing wrong. They were the victims. These adults, these sickos, were the ones in the wrong.
The remaining 5 defendants in Mobile County are Mindy Kent, James Kumba, Chessie Wood, Nelton Morgan, and William Brownlee. They're all set to be back in court in July. If they choose not to accept plea agreements at that time, the trial date is set for October 5th. Live in the newsroom, Christian Jennings, Local 15 News.
You know, I didn't go back and look to see what each one of those were sentenced to, because a lot of times with this COVID, I doubt very seriously if they went to trial. They probably pushed the trial dates to this year sometime, probably in March or April or something like that, and maybe even latter part of the year. They'll be sitting in jail. They won't be out, I assure you. But this was a sick family. I mean, you think about how many children that possibly had been abused by them. Every child that grew up in that family was abused. Brittany was abused. I mean, the whole thing was abused. And I guess she saw that her daughter was getting up there in the age to be exposed to that, and she said, you know, you got to think about that. She was a brave individual for coming out. But I never understood this. Why go to the uncle's house? I know that she went to the uncle's house.
Well, if he had her gun, maybe she went to kill him.
Well, yeah, maybe she did, but she was supposedly going to turn everything into the police, not try to expose. I mean, you know.
Maybe she found out he had already touched her daughter.
Maybe. You know, they said, the sheriff out of Baldwin County talked about the death, Holland's death, received close examination, and the ruling it was a suicide was intact based on all available evidence. And they came across a body with a gunshot wound to the head that appeared to be self-inflicted. And he was being investigation for molestation and being involved in this pedophile ring. So, you know, I don't know the reason why. I always wondered why that she went over to the uncle's house. I don't, it was, I think she wanted to turn everything over to the police and get the police involved. And it's really odd that her death or her disappearance has led to all these people being brought out. So either, I hope she's not deceased, but if she is, her death has led to the involvement of all these people being arrested. So
I bet you
in a bad situation, at least one thing good has come out of it.
I bet you she went to confront her uncle, Tommy.
Why?
I bet possibly he.
I mean, there was so many more.
But maybe he had abused her when she was the little girl. Maybe her daughter at 3 years old had said something about him hurting her. I mean.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it because the whole family is a bunch of daggum perverts. I mean,
Alabama, Sarah.
It's all in Alabama.
Grand Bay, Alabama.
Let me see if there's anything in here. I read over this and I didn't see anything, reason why they stated.
Well, they wouldn't know why she went because she never showed up.
I mean, maybe there was some evidence. I mean.
Well, if he had her gun, that right there is a big one.
It said by most accounts, Brittany Wood was visiting her uncle Donnie Holland near Fairhope the night she went missing. Holland's considered by investigators to be a ringleader in the sex crimes. So she might have went over there just to tell him, hey, stop this. Y'all need to stop this because I'm going to the police. And that might have in itself of led to her disappearance. I mean, if he's a ringleader.
I liked Fried Green Tomatoes too, that movie.
Shot in the head, clearing, overlooking Fish River. Yeah, it was ruled a suicide, but either way. Let's see if I can answer one question there. You got all these family members that are in this ring together, and since he waited 2 days, he waited 2 days to kill himself. I'm sure he made communications with other members of the pedophile ring. So somebody in the family knows probably something about where she's at or what happened to her. And but that area, even around Fish River area, I got a lot of bogs and bayous and alligators and all kinds of snakes and everything in that area. And the district attorney's office says they remain hopeful that someday one of these people will come forward. If it wasn't family involved in most of it, I could see maybe one of them coming and saying, how can I get a better deal? Maybe not, because all these people are going to do life. They're never getting out of prison. Maybe if somebody could get in some type of deal to not do 200 years in prison, if they tell where the body is at, what happened to her, what was the case, I apologize. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Prosecutors basically called it a perfect storm, and they pushed for lengthy sentences, and they have got lengthy sentences.
Come on, baby.
Gosh, I can't even talk. My eyes are watering. when I yawn.
Oh, did I make you cry? I'm sorry.
Telling you what, all this stuff could make me cry. It's sad, very, very sad.
Yes, I was making. Somebody asked, "Are we going to lighten it up some because it's right the night?" Well, it's not. It's right before Christmas, not the night before Christmas.
Yeah,
it's right before Christmas.
It's just, I want to go ahead and cover all of this though, and it says here that testimony revealed that the sexual atrocities against these children lasted for 3 generations. You imagine that, 3 complete generations. That could have been as many as 75 years. Wasn't it generations, 25 years?
Well, according to the Bible, a generation is 100 years because God told the Israelites that they would be in bondage for 400 years, and after the 4th generation,
I think
He
they're
would bring
talking
them out.
about 25 years.
I'm just saying.
They said that the problem was that there was children that were abused as people that were abused as children that grew up in that family to be abusers, and that doesn't give them the right to live in our society just because they were abused when they were children. It mitigates maybe the reasoning behind why they did that, but I don't even get that mitigate, because if somebody claims, well, they were molested as a child and then they grew up to molest other children, I guess the psychologist, psychiatrist may give that some type of mitigation. As a police officer, retired cop, or a human being, I can't see these people having a right to walk free as in society anymore. I don't think so. They gave it Destin Kent, 39, Mindy Kent's husband, will be sentenced, because they were all sentenced. I need to go back and look. They were sentenced for sodomy and incest. At Chessie Woods will be scheduled to go to trial. She's actually, I guess, the mama scheduled to go to trial. Randa Woods scheduled court appearance. But you get charges like rape, sodomy, torture, child sex abuse. These are 20, 30, 40, 50-year sentences they possibly can get. And I hope they get every bit of it. And it's just, people have asked me, do you believe in the death penalty should be applied to some cases like this? And I guess if we have absolute proof that these people were torturing and sexual abusing children, then they have no right to live in our society. And if I guess that would, but the way it is, the death penalty in Alabama, if you want to see how death penalties ruled in Alabama, they do the death penalty. In Florida is big time, and Texas big time. But to go over and look at, you can do an inmate search for Alabama or anywhere else. In Alabama, I keep up with a few of these. Go over and put Alabama state inmate search, and they will let you look there and see how many people are on death row, and look at the people that are on death row and what they're all charged with murder, most of them. And there's some people been on death row 29 years, 29, 30 years on death row. I don't understand that. I mean, some type of swift punishment should be there. One more.
Okay, somebody, I forgot who said it. Hold on. Someone up here said, Shelley said that just because you were abused as a child doesn't make you an abuser.
No, I 100% agree with that, because
yes, I was abused as a
my
child.
wife was abused as a child.
Thank you for stopping to look at me.
And
that could be said.
And she is not an abuser of children, and she is probably one of the most loving women towards children, and gives everybody the benefit of a doubt over even the slightest little thing. So, no, it does not mean that at all.
But it did make me more paranoid about making sure my children were safe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One more, and then we're not gonna do any of
Deputies
that
spent
anymore.
hours searching this heavily wooded area behind a grand.
No, I guess that's the one. I don't know. Let me just play a little bit of that. I think this is not the same one. Or I guess it was.
Deputies spent hours searching this heavily wooded area behind a Grand Bay home. Unfortunately, they came up empty-handed, not finding anything. Tonight, Brittany's mom devastated that this lead was another dead end.
Investigators spent more than 5 hours searching and digging.
Well, that was mostly about the end case of that, and I will play that if you tell me there to play it. But it basically, how much serious can you take her if she's got sexual abuse charges on her too? Sure, she wants her daughter found. I understand that. But she's got sexual abuse charges on her. She's probably going to go to prison for the rest of her life. And, she needs to be, if she's involved with that. She needs to be. What was that?
It's from Amazon. They're excited to tell me I won an iPhone 12. I just have to respond to this text. Ha, ha.
Yeah, right.
They're
This
really
is
out
Brittany.
today.
This is Brittany, 19 years of age when she disappeared, May 30th, 2012 on a Wednesday in Tillman's Corner area. Now that is in southwest Mobile. Identified tattoo on her left leg, says Payton, surrounded by butterflies, and her lip was pierced. 5'1", 105 pounds, thin, blue eyes, dirty blonde hair. She's white. Blue jean shorts, blue shirt, white flip-flops, carrying a pink and teal and blue tote bag. And it tells the numbers to call Klaus Kids, Crime Stoppers, and Mobile Police Department. The Charlie Project had a bunch of pictures of her. Some, I think, have been aged, enhanced. And then that guy down below is the one that they've think did her demise. And that, of course, that she's asking for her sister. None of these people are innocent in her disappearance. Not one.
Nope.
None of them are.
And they know.
Yeah.
They know something.
Yeah, this is charge of child porn, second-degree child abuse, Rod Holland charged with incest and rape. Man, I don't, none of them are innocent in her disappearance. And if she is found dead, I think they ought to charge every one of them with murder. I don't know if they could ever be able to prove it, but I think that, they need to be charged. For instance, I can't understand how that a whole family over 3 generations had been involved in sexual abuse, rape, sodomy, everything, and nothing came out about it. Nothing. You're talking about years of it, how that nobody ever knew about it. I can't see it. I can't see it. Our TV just went off again.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Michael probably does.
Well. Does anybody have any questions? This is unfortunately a bad one we had to talk about. And the fact that, I'm ashamed to say they're from my state that I live in. of Alabama. And you know, this is a problem is too, when people read this kind of stuff, they look and say, "Oh man, that's Alabama. That's how it is. They married their cousin, their sister." You know, honestly, I hear it all the time. You're from Alabama. Oh, you married this, or they married your cousin.
Related.
Yeah, but not
it
that
all
way.
Goes back
Not
to
that
Adam
way.
And Eve.
But not that way. And you know, it is shameful that they were
I'm talking about the Alabama stuff.
involved in the Alabama, in the state, even in the state of Alabama. I hate to.
Did y'all know
that was
that
just
they
that's a
say
Debbie
that
Downer.
3 out of 4 women, by the time they reach the age of 20, will have been sexually abused, and 2 out of every 4 boys. So you all know someone who has been, or you have been. It's inevitable. And I did not realize how bad it was until I started down a rabbit hole 4 years ago. A young man walked in and asked me a question and sent me down a rabbit hole that I've not been able to climb out of.
What?
Remember, Cliff's grandson walked in and asked me, we're not going to get into it.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with politics and stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
So we're not going to discuss that.
There.
No, we're not going there. But it did open my eyes to the occult and how the children are being.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to show you something. It is not of the occult. And I thought this was there was a picture of me and Medina, but it's actually a picture of her dad and Medina.
Oh.
In our wedding, one of our wedding pictures. I'm trying to get a bunch of them online. I'm just not having very much success. No, that was showing me okay, that is a fin. That's a little fin.
I hope he knows the difference between him
there
and
it
my dad.
is. There's that guy right there with the big nose. There's her dad.
There's a lot
There's
of pictures
me.
going.
Yeah, I know it. That's look at that nose on that guy. That was her first husband, by the way.
Hey.
That was her first husband, by the way.
Once is enough.
It's the big honker here. I mean,
listen,
you really see that.
The thing is,
I thought that was one picture, but it ended up being several.
Yes, and it was several. And the 2 young boys that were kissing me on the cheek and Tommy was talking to are my 2 babyest brothers. And I don't know if you noticed, it went so fast. There was we were cutting a cake and there were a bunch of doll cakes around. I was an only girl with 6 brothers, so they went way out on the wedding back in 1978. Daddy told me about a year later, you know how much your wedding cost me? $5,000.
I'm going to play this again so we don't. I thought it was just one picture. She was a beautiful bride. That was her brothers. And one of them was 50 and one of them was in his 40s. So daddy and then me, of course.
That's my 2 baby brothers.
And look at that. God, that nose.
Tommy, stop. You look like John Denver.
But her brothers now, one of them is 50.
Well, we've been married 44 years. They would have gotten older.
And then the other one was in his late 40s, isn't it? I don't know. But they both turned out to be great.
He makes it remind her of an actress.
Thank
you. Thank all of y'all. I didn't know.
Yeah, she absolutely.
He's got one he'll show you later of the real me.
Yeah.
On the beach.
Yeah. I did. I used to take a lot of photography. I was big time in photography. Although now I probably have more money in photography right now than I ever had in my whole life. And as soon as the weather gets better, we're going to start taking. Who was that?
Somebody said I look like Kate.
I don't know.
I can't remember who it was because you look like John Denver, and there was the one she played. Jackson.
Kate Jackson, maybe. I don't know. I've showed you. I know I've showed you this picture before. This is my old drug unit.
Thank you, Maddie.
Of course, I'm the one there with the curly hair. And also, we always want to bring this up too right here at Christmas. We are still actively seeking information on Susan Morphew, and we always want to bring that up if possible. Right here at Christmas, we do need to be prayerful that something will occur after the new DA comes in, and I think it will. The case last night, I contacted Adventures with a Purpose. They got back with me right away.
Good.
And we discussed that area. Their only problem is this, that where the road goes to that city, it crosses two bodies of water basically that are very shallow. And they feel like that if the car would have been run off into that area, that it would have been exposed. So until they can come up with Lynn or the daughter can come up with some areas that are deeper water, where a car could have went into, or maybe different information, then they're gonna wait on that information. Also, I've sent off some emails.
It's raining.
Yeah, I've sent off some emails to the officer that did work the case. She no longer works for that sheriff's department, but I've told her about myself and that we're trying to bring some light to this case, and that we would have some divers who were willing to come up and dive that area if she knew somewhere through information she had that maybe would bring positive results. So that's where we're at right now on that case. And but we are going to continue to follow that, of course. Any questions, comments? I hope everybody has a great Christmas. We are not going to be on Friday night. We are going to probably have snow tomorrow. Maybe.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I got the snow shovel out behind the house, and we are going to be going to Tennessee tomorrow.
So what did Peanut Butter say to the grape at Christmas time?
Don't know. What did Peanut Butter say to the grape?
He said, "'Tis the time to be jelly."
And what do I say at every Christmas?
Bah humbug.
Bah humbug.
Okay, wait a minute. What was the other one?
That is my...
what do you get when you cross a snowman with a vampire?
I don't know. What do you get?
Frostbite. So, wait a minute. I'm remembering it. Oh, what was it? What music did the elves play this time of year?
What music did the elves play?
Mm-hmm. What are they playing this week?
Merry Christmas.
Rap music.
You're so funny.
Well, I thought it was
so
funny.
funny. You so
Knock,
funny.
knock.
Who's there?
Murray.
Merry who?
Merry Christmas to one and all.
That's not that good.
Oh, come
Not
on.
that good.
Okay. Miss Claus said to Santa Claus, "What's the weather for Christmas Eve?"
I don't know what is.
Reindeer.
Don't get her started, please. I'll have to hear about these all tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and play our simple outro and that we've been doing. What I'd like to do is go back through.
Wait. What does Christmas have to do with a cat lost in the desert? They both have Sandy Claus.
Oh, you're so. But anyway, y'all have a Merry Christmas, safe Christmas. Stay healthy, safe. We absolutely love each and every one of y'all. And we hope to see you this coming Tuesday.
Yes. And hopefully, our daughter will peep in here and say
Yeah,
hello.
hopefully she will. I doubt it. Very seriously.
Well, because she's a grouch like her daddy.
I doubt it. Very seriously.
When they call each other, they say, "Hey, Grouch." They both. That's not the first thing they say. Is,
I
hey,
say,
Grouch.
"Hello, Grouch." She told me today because Dina walked around there with the phone. She said, "Gosh, it took too long. I mean, 20 seconds."
Oh, hey.
What?
Okay, Sarah started this. Okay, so Sarah, you started this. Just so you know, 3 moles go out for a walk.
No.
She said it. No.
That
Sarah,
is not. I'm gonna
Sarah,
tell
don't you do it.
Yes,
Sarah,
I am.
3
I'm
moles
doing it.
go out for a walk.
No, that is not the right joke.
Papa Mole finds a hole
That
and he
is
crawls
not.
into the hole.
I'm going to
And he
do
goes,
it. I'm doing
I
it.
smell biscuits.
Dana, I'm doing it.
Don't do it.
Not,